be here for hours talking about so many different dimensions of social justice. And then in the context of today's discussion, right, let me borrow a term from Kimberly Crenshaw and others have done important work in intersectionality, right? The connection between race, class, gender, sexual orientation, and I might add, economic status, right? Follow the money is really a good slogan to be used in the classroom, in everyday living and so on, because at the end of the day, right, we gotta pay our bills, right? Who doesn't want to have a comfortable life? Who doesn't want to have the ability to be able to go to Costco and just buy whatever she wants, right? And then not worry about, well, do I pay my PG&E bill or do I buy these really beautiful cookies that I always wanted to have, but they're really expensive, right? So why do we have to make those choices? So thank you, and thank you for the pushback against my note about idiots. Right? I was thinking in philosophical terms because the philosophy of intelligence is that we have multiple intelligences, right? We have Howard Gardner to thank for that kind of theory. Many of our leaders are very smart in certain ways, right? How to do cost-benefit analysis without ethics.
Right.
How to do cost-benefit analysis without caring about other human beings that don't look like us.
Right.
Right? How to do cost-benefit analysis and say, oh, I'm so sorry because this is what you learn in the workshop, right? Tell your employees, oh, I'm so sorry we have to make these cuts. It'll make your life really difficult, and I really feel bad, I understand. Well, we have to do it because we have to be fiscally responsible. But how about you? How about you take a cut? And then I take a cut, we both take a cut, and then we build solidarity together, and the next time we'll be able to balance the books, right? But no, these idiots, let me just push back against your pushback, because they lack, and I say they're underdeveloped, they lack emotional intelligence, they lack historical intelligence, they lack, there's so many, Howard Gardner himself has added new categories to intelligence. They lack this business of humanist intelligence, right? You are a human being at the end of the day, right? You're a thinking animal. You're part of the ecosystem, however you want to pronounce it. Now, all of that is at play. Now, my research, because I presented the question, and you eloquently answered specifics. I'm looking at AI, which is dominating at least our field to begin with. It's been the most disruptive thing. Generative AI, ChatGPT, our students who are sitting in this room know all about that. How to learn how to do prompting so you can do actual research and so on and not cheat, etc. The ethics of AI is something that needs to be addressed, needs to be established, and that's my work, right? That's my research. So how does it work? That was a bell, by the way. AI, very quickly, I'm going to go down the list of how this stuff works because you may be interested. You may want to know, how does it work? How do they get these quick answers in like a millisecond to me? Well, AI, like the one you're interacting with now, say like, ChatGPT, or you go and do a transaction on your phone and so on, they're trained, right? They're systems that are trained with enormous amount of data. Most of it collected for free, right? Every time you go and buy something somewhere, you're sending your data to somebody, and data brokers make money, etc., etc. There is data collection, of course, right? And there is data labeling, right? In some cases, data needs to be labeled to provide context for the AI. Then there's pre-processing, so it's quite involved, and human beings are involved in this. So this is the thing that they never tell you. You always think, oh, it's a machine teaching machine teaching machine teaching machine. Yes, in the process it is, but there's somebody who's pushing the buttons, right? Model selection, this is where all this business of racism, anti-bias, and all this stuff enters the picture, or doesn't. Right? What is not said is more important than what is said. there's no transparency with the development of AI products, right? And it's on purpose, right? It's not accidentally on purpose, it's on purpose, right? So then there's training. Machines have to be trained. One machine, this is where the machine trains the other machine. Then there's validation, and again, the human element enters the picture. Oh, is it check out? Does it check the facts and all that? Not always. Testing, they have to test it, right? They release ChatGPT 3.5 just like that, right? Out there with no oversight, with no regulation, with no government, because again, let's come back to the idiots, right? In Congress, they are clueless about how this stuff works. Their staffers are very smart, right? 22-year-old staffer is telling the congressman, look, this is how this stuff is shot. Just go give me the Coke, right? You know, I gotta go and give a talk. Testing, and then there's fine tuning. This is where, again, the ethics enters the picture. This is what I'm finding. I'm finding that people of color represent less than 2% of the movers and shakers of tech. I'm not talking about like CEOs and stuff. We're talking about like engineers and people that actually do the work. Like Elon Musk didn't invent Tesla, right? He just told people, this is what we want. I got the money, let's go do it. I just bought this company. And then I'm gonna go out there and take credit for all your work. Right? That's how it works. And then they want that kind of data. Put that data in there. So test it out. Go to ChatGPT, write something about racism, like something that has to do with this discussion here today. Go watch YouTube, grab the transcript, grab a part of it, give it to ChatGPT, and say, humanize this for me, or rewrite it, or make it professional. That's a good one. That prompt is good. Make it professional. All of a sudden, a lot of things are gone. All right? All the talking you were giving us about, doing the ancestral, historical work and all that, like, it kind of like goes into the abstract and the ambiguous world. This is what I'm finding with my research. So that needs to change. If we're able to deregulate, I'm sorry, see, it's embedded something. if you're able to regulate, right, the tech world, if we're able to break up the giants, right, break up Google, break up Facebook, break up OpenAI is a giant now. It was a little company, it was non-profit. All of a sudden, it's a for-profit company, and then they just disbanded their anti-bias, forum, the people that like us would get together and all of that. I'm not getting calls for to become a consultant for OpenAI. I don't know why, but I should be. Anyways, so that's what we're finding. We need to do it because that's the classroom, right? Our students are going to learn regardless, right? They're going to be smarter than us, knowing where to push the buttons and everything. We need to learn how to push the buttons so we can work with them, all right? So that's what I mean by AI literacy. That's my work. And so does anybody have like a pressing question? You're saying, hey, this is what keeps me up at night, and I want to ask you and see if you have something to say about it. Yes.